Do you have a really long bio, a really long biography that you want to put on your website and you insist on keeping every little juicy detail, every credential, every experience, blah, blah, blah? Okay, in general, I would say don't do that. Condense it. Just have the highlights, the most important parts, the things that you think are most important to your ideal clients now. But if you really insist on keeping a long bio on your website, and I do understand the reasons why, well, I've got a really cool way of putting that together that makes it actually very visually appealing and makes people want to keep scrolling down and reading more and then even contact you. Stick around, I'm going to show you. So these are just three little examples that I created for demonstration purposes. These are not real people. I don't know any of these people. But anyway, let's just imagine that they are lawyers or that they are executives in a company and they have very long bios that they insisted on keeping, and nothing wrong with that. You just have to do it in a way that makes people want to read them. So first, start with a really good picture. These are stock pictures, but I often use them as examples for my clients and say, look, you don't have to be in a suit and a tie necessarily. You don't have to be all buttoned up. You can be like this guy with the tie loosened and the jacket opened. I still think he looks very businesslike. You can do one inside, outside. You can do one, arms crossed or whatever. But, you have to try a bunch of different things until you get a picture that's really good and that looks like you. Now, once you have that, you have the title, the name, and then the title. And this is going to pop out into what's called a lightbox. So in this first example, let me show you what I'm talking about. The user clicks on it. You don't need to tell them click here. People know that by now, okay? So they click on it and out pops this light box, this box in which there are, there could be even 3 or 4 columns. There could just be one column. I did 2. And if you have a picture of you and a colleague or you and several colleagues in action, in other words, working together, not looking at the camera, but like in your office, that can be very effective in telling a story about you. Then again, you repeat your name here, your title, and then look at this. This is all dummy text, of course, but it goes on, and stuff I've accomplished. It can be in a bulleted list. And then at the bottom, you have something like, your credentials, where you went to school, where you went to graduate school, and then your contact information. And of course, if you're going to put an email in there, it better be obfuscated because you don't want bots to be crawling your site, finding your email, and then spamming the crap out of you. So anyway, I don't think you also need to say to people, scroll here. It's evident. Look, this line kind of cuts off, so people are naturally going to start scrolling, okay? All right, and then below here, I didn't do it in this example, but you could put things like links. You have icons to your social media like Facebook and what else you might use, Instagram or LinkedIn. You might have a link to a V card, and then you might also have a link to your direct phone number if you want. Okay, so there are various ways of putting this together, but this is one way of putting together a longer bio. And I'll just show you one more example. You just click, by the way, outside of that box, and it brings you back to this page. Let's click on this guy. See, again, you've got his name, his title, this long bio, then, stuff I've accomplished, a bulleted list, or the whole thing could be a bulleted list if you wanted to do it that way. But if you really insist on keeping all of your information, your credentials, your experience, and so on in there, this is one way of doing it. It's compact, it's appealing, there are good pictures, and again, you have this character. He's in his office, and this time in a more relaxed stance, I guess, with the colleagues in the background. This is also a stock photo, of course, but it does give you an idea of how you can put together a longer bio and also make it visually appealing and interesting. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. You click out of here, and it brings you back to the page with all of your colleagues. Normally people have, at least 6 to 9 people per page, or they might have all 50 in a firm. It doesn't really matter. The point is that for a lot of consultants, a lot of professional services providers like lawyers, legal investigators, financial advisors, and investment bankers, A lot of you might have biographies that are on the long side that you want to keep, that you think are important to your prospects. I get it, and this is just one way of putting them together that is both visually appealing, it is engaging, it requires the user to do, to take a little bit of action, to click it open. It allows you to keep all that information in there in a very compact and logical way. All right, well, that is it. So I hope that this has been helpful and interesting to you. Thanks as always for watching. I appreciate it, and I will talk to you soon again in my next video.